This is absolutely massive for the Yankees. The upcoming 12 games that they have is going to be a bloodbath, to say the least. This is their season. This is like a mini playoff for the Yankees. If you love the Yankees and you're not subscribed, be sure to subscribe. We're on the road here to 23,000 subscribers. So if you can help us get there, that would be an absolute blessing. And thank you to those who are subscribed, who leave comments. I love your passion. I love your takes, and let's keep it going. This is, in my opinion, the best Yankee community out there. So thank you guys so much for keeping it alive and keeping it strong. But listen, as we know, the Yankees have an incredibly tough stretch ahead. And it starts tonight against the Houston Astros. Houston having a solid season. Some people thought that maybe they would, this would be a declining year for them, but it hasn't been. Houston is an incredibly tough team. And then obviously after Houston, you have Toronto, you have Detroit, you have Boston. These next 12 games are going to be an absolute gauntlet. And if the Yankees could go 8-4, I would be absolutely thrilled. 7-5 is great too. 6-6, 500 ball. That would honestly be okay. But I need to see that this team could go in there and beat these really good teams. And it starts tonight in Houston. Max Fried going on the mound for the Yankees. And Max Fried, there was a stretch there where he struggled, but his last two starts have been very good. 7 innings against Washington, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks. Then against Boston, 6 innings against them. He's had 2 really good starts as of late, and hopefully that carries over against the Houston Astros. The Yankees desperately need Max Fried to be great tonight. Aaron Boone mentioned that Giancarlo Stanton is playing in left, and Giancarlo, as we know, has been hitting the crap out of the ball. Hitting .295, 17 homers, 46 RBI with a .999 OPS. A .999 OPS. Giancarlo is having a year that, listen, did we expect him to have these kinds of numbers? We have to be fair. No, we didn't expect him to do what he's doing right now. What he's doing right now is otherworldly. And over his last 15 games, he has 7 home runs, hitting .357, like a 1,300 OPS. He's been remarkable. And I'm going to look at him. I'm going to look towards him to have a big series against the Astros. Giancarlo's incredibly clutch. He carried that Yankee lineup last postseason. He carried them, and we're going to need him to be in that lineup every day. Is he going to play all 12 games? Upcoming 12 games? Probably not, but he needs to be in for at least most of them. In my opinion, how Boone should do it, I'm curious to see how he's going to do it. Is he going to start Giancarlo, let's say, the first 2 games of the series in Houston, and if the Yankees win and they win the series, then maybe you bench Giancarlo, but you can't bench Giancarlo at all. If you lose tonight, we need his bat in the lineup. We need him. And if Giancarlo's in that lineup, the Yankees have a much better chance at winning. Like I said, he showed us last year how good, how clutch he was. And Giancarlo's been very clutch. That's why I kind of don't understand the hate and the disdain for him. Why teams get frustrated with Giancarlo, not teams, fans get frustrated with Giancarlo. Last year, he had a bounce back season. The postseason, he won my heart back. Truthfully, he did. And now this year, he's just been fabulous. But even after last year's postseason performance, they still can't stand Giancarlo Stanton, and that doesn't make sense to me. I get it. 2023 was a bad year for him, but he bounced back in 2024, and he had a big postseason, and that leaked over into 2025. He's having a magnificent year thus far. Imagine he hits 13 home runs in the month of September, ends the year at 30. I just can't help but laugh because that just sounds ridiculous. But Giancarlo Stanton, job well done by him this season, and hopefully he could keep it up, especially now during these next 12 games. But it starts in Houston tonight. And this is where we need somebody else to step up. We need somebody else to have a big series. In my opinion, that's potential 2025 MVP, Aaron Judge. Now, I want to know your guys' take. I want to know if you think Aaron Judge should be the 2025 MVP. Judge this season hitting 320. We're in September. I know he did miss some time. We're in September and he's hitting 324. We're in September and he has a 324 batting average. He could win the batting title. 43 home runs, 97 RBI with an 11.17 OPS and a 205 OPS. Plus, he needs to go and have a big series against Houston, a big series against Toronto. He needs to shut the narrative up that he's not a clutch player, that when it comes to playing in a big series, he doesn't come through. He needs to shut that narrative up. And if Aaron Judge is able to do that, he could put on one heck of a stretch. Not only these next 12 games, but after that, because you have Minnesota, you have Baltimore twice. Who else do they have? They have Minnesota, Baltimore, Chicago. We just watched the Yankees beat up on Chicago. Yes, they lost game 4. And that's where it gets a little nerve-wracking for me. Right? You lose game 4. You lost 3-2 up against a really bad team. I really wanted the Yankees to sweep Washington, and they did. And I needed them to sweep Chicago. They won 3 of 4. I said, hey, if they sweep one series and they win the other, I could live with that. And listen, I could live with that. I'm obviously I am now. But when it comes to bad teams, you have to beat them up and build that momentum. And that momentum from the White Sox series, is it still there? Yeah, I don't think that 3-2 loss really means too much. I think that momentum is potentially there. I hope it's there. They need it to be there. We need to go in and beat Houston, win the series against Toronto, win the series against Detroit, win the series against Boston. Go 8-4. Please go 8. That's how you go 8-4. Go 8-4. Please, Yankees, I'm begging you. And you have Giancarlo, Judge in the lineup. Hopefully Anthony Volpe. I hope for his sake he's able to come up big. Anthony Volpe, the World Series last year, was pretty important for them. He was pretty important for the Yankees. This year, Volpe hitting 210, 19 homers, 70 RBI with a 679 OPS and 86 OPS plus. He had a good series against the White Sox. Volpe needs to have a good stretch. Every Yankee on this team needs to be on it. And if they're not on it, if that bullpen stinks, if this could be a massacre, instead of going 8-4, I could see them easily going 2-10. And I hate to be a Debbie Downer, negative Nancy. I'd rather be a positive Pete. I don't want to be a sour Susan. I really don't. But at the same time, we could see this going the complete other way. The Yankees' combined record is 7-19 against these teams, against Houston, Blue Jays, Tigers, and Boston. Their combined record against those teams this season is 7-19. That's not good. That's not good at all. And then when you take the division, the American League East, against the Blue Jays, Red Sox, and Orioles, you take Tampa out of it because we're not seeing them for the rest of the year, but we're seeing these teams. We're seeing Boston once, Toronto once, and Baltimore twice. The Yankees have a combined record 8-18 up against those teams. This is big. This is a big stretch. And if the Yankees could go in, beat Houston, beat Toronto, beat Detroit, beat Boston, manhandle the rest of their schedule, they could not only be in first place, but be in a strong spot in the postseason because the momentum would be going their way. And we all know how important it is to have momentum heading into the postseason. If the Yankees have it, we could be looking at another World Series appearance. We'll see what happens, though. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care.